And we want to go now live to 17's Victoria Spilabati, who's had a chance to talk with gay rights activists. And what's going on there, Victoria?
Tammy, locals are waiting outside the county administration building, just waiting for that decision to come down. Right now I have with me here Kathy and Reverend Bird. And Kathy, what's been going on inside this morning? Tell me.
We've been sitting and waiting, checking on the web, refreshing our browser, just waiting for the judge's decision and sending a lot of positive energy that he will lift the stay.
And tell me about the woman with her cell phone in there. What's she waiting for?
There's a young lady in there with her cell phone, all primed with a text message to her girlfriend that as soon as the stay is lifted, she's going to send the text to her girlfriend, who will come down, and as soon as the county council says it's okay to issue a marriage license, they're going to get their license, and Rev Bird is going to marry him.
And Reverend Bird, you've married a lot of couples in Kern County. Tell me, are you expecting more marriages today if it comes down in their favor?
Yes, I am. I'm expecting a number of marriages today. I've had several phone calls from people asking that I do their ceremony, and we have other people who are also here who will be able to do their ceremony for them, and we're rooting for them.
Thank you, ladies. I just want to give a little bit of background on this case. The judge in this case is Vaughn Walker. He will be making his decision based on requests to keep Proposition 8 in effect. Proposition 8 bans gay marriage. The state Supreme Court allowed marriage licenses to be issued beginning on June 16th of 2008, and many couples in Kern County rushed to get married at that time. But in November, California voted to ban gay marriage, and there have been several challenges to Prop 8 since then, but it was ultimately upheld. Last week, Walker struck down the ban, ruling that Prop 8 was unconstitutional, and opponents of gay marriage want Proposition 8 reinstated, saying they will take the case to the U.S. Supreme Court if it's necessary. Now, if the decision does come down in the favor of Proposition 8, then the administration here will get word that they can begin issuing marriage license, and we're expecting to maybe see some marriages in this courthouse behind me today. Tammy, back to you.
Same-sex marriages are still on hold in our state. Today, a federal judge decided to give opponents of gay marriage until Wednesday of next week to get a ruling from an appeals court. 17's Victoria Spilabati joins us live at the county administration building tonight with more on these developments. Victoria?
Kyoshi, the judge disappointed many same-sex couples today waiting in the county clerk's office to get their marriage license. A few of them even left in tears. Now opponents have 1 week to get a ruling in their favor, or else they vow to take this decision all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. First there were cheers, and then tears. Gay couples waiting to get their marriage license inside the county clerk's office thought a federal judge ruled same-sex marriage could resume in California, but it turns out he decided to give supporters of Proposition 8 until next week to get a ruling from a federal appeals court, a decision that disappointed many gay couples.
I can't marry the person I love. I can't marry the man I love and spent the past 2 years with. I can't marry him.
It's just wrong. It's wrong. You know, they're American citizens. They should have every civil right anybody else does. And getting married is it.
Last week, Judge Vaughn Walker ruled Proposition 8 is unconstitutional. In 2008, the state Supreme Court allowed marriage licenses to be issued, and many couples in Kern County rushed to get married. But in November, California voters passed Prop 8, banning same-sex marriage. That ban had been upheld until Walker overturned it last week. Now the decision will go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Opponents of gay marriage want the case taken even further, all the way to the Supreme Court.
We're not getting a fair hearing here in San Francisco. The system is being gamed right now. It is not what it appears, and it's going to have to go to the Supreme Court.
And a decision from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals could mean that gay marriage becomes legal in more states than just California. And you can bet next week more gay couples will be here in the county clerk's office waiting for another decision. Live in downtown Bakersfield, I'm Victoria, 17 News.
Well, gay marriage is still on hold here in our state. Today, a federal judge in San Francisco decided to give opponents of same-sex marriage a chance to get a ruling from an appeals court. 17's Victoria Spilabati is live tonight at the County Administration Building with more on the developments. Victoria?
Kyoshi, Judge Vaughn Walker's decision certainly disappointed many same-sex couples here in Kern County. Many of them were inside the county clerk's office waiting to get their marriage certificate, but they left in tears. And this was the scene inside the county clerk's office earlier today. These couples were waiting nervously for Judge Walker's ruling to come down. And when it did, they were sad to learn they would have to wait until next Wednesday for yet another ruling.
And this is just one thing that's just knocking us down, but you know what? We're going to get back up and we're going to fight it. It's going to happen. No matter what, this day will come.
The voters are being ill-served. We had one judge here, an arrogant judge in San Francisco, say he knows more than the will of 7 million people that amended our Constitution.
Last week, Judge Walker ruled Proposition 8 is unconstitutional, striking down a ban on same-sex marriage in California. Voters passed in November 2008. Walker decided to put a stay on his decision and give opponents until next Wednesday to get an appeal. Next week's ruling will come from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and depending on the decision, gay marriage could become legal in more states than just California. Opponents of gay marriage vowed to take their fight all the way to the Supreme Court for a final ruling. And you can expect next Wednesday that depending on that ruling, many same-sex couples will still be here at the county clerk waiting to get that marriage certificate. In downtown Bakersfield, I'm Victoria Spilabati, 17 News.
Meantime, local gay rights activist Whitney Waddell says she is cautiously optimistic about today's ruling.
A week is a lot better than a year or 5 years or 10 years, and of course a lot can happen in this week. I mean, the Ninth Circuit hasn't ruled yet. Nobody's dragged the Supreme Court into this. We don't even know if there's a defendant who will stand and that there will even be an appeal. So there's a lot that can happen between now and next Thursday. So it's going to be a long week, but we are certainly that much more hopeful that next week, this time, we will have couples who are marrying.
And Waddell says they will be watching anxiously to see what the appeals court decides to do.
In a major development over gay marriage, a federal judge ruled today that same-sex marriages in California can resume.
However, same-sex couples will have to wait until Wednesday of next week to get a ruling from a federal appeals court. Jose Gaspar is here with more to explain why gay couples will have to wait. Jose?
Kurt, today's ruling drew mixed reaction from those on both sides of the issue. Several gay couples in Kern County were hoping they can get a marriage license as early as today. Yeah! When word came down that gay marriages in California could resume, gay activists celebrated at the County Administration Building.
One.
But that celebration quickly turned into disappointment when it was learned that same-sex couples would have to wait until the 18th. Activists began to worry when they learned the details.
Oh, this better not turn into major disappointment.
Dustin Peterson had come down here to get a license to marry his partner.
I feel like my civil rights being denied again. I mean, after all this going on, I have to be told I can't do what I want to do. I can't marry the person I love. I can't marry the man I love.
Last week, federal judge Vaughn Walker ruled California's Proposition 8, which bans same-sex marriages, was unconstitutional. Today, he decided not to lift the ban until a higher court rules on the case next week. The whole issue rankles Greg Jones.
The people voted to make it illegal to be same-sex marriage, and now it's being appealed, and they're going to allow it anyway. So the courts are overruling the people's wishes.
Do you think gay marriages in California should resume?
If that's the way they feel, I don't see why they shouldn't have it. I mean, God created everybody equal.
The legal fight is expected to continue for some time. Now, the appellate court is expected to rule on the merits of the judge's decision overturning Proposition 8 and more immediately on whether or not gay marriages can resume here in California. Same-sex weddings could happen as early as next week, or they could be put off indefinitely. It all depends on how the higher court rules. Live in studio control, Jose Gaspar, Kurt, Lisa. Now back to you in the studio.
Jose, thank you.